There is a hidden history that's been deliberately obfuscated from the peoples of the world. And that's why I am on the trail of the Nephilim. The Genesis 6 narrative states that the Nephilim are on the earth in those days and also afterwards. If that's true, can we find evidence that corroborates this? I'm L.A. Marzulli. Join me as we go on the trail of the Nephilim. Today is the 7th of June, special edition of On the Trail. This is from a clip from Lost Civilizations. It's number 7 in our On the Trail of the Nephilim series. And I just will give you guys a little heads up here. It's about Gilga Raphaem, the Wheel of the Giants. And we'll get into that and so much more. But first, a word from a trusted sponsor, BioTrust. Hey folks, check this out. Studies show our appearance directly affects our mental health. Many anti-aging supplements found on store shelves try to capitalize on that. Most of them fall short. This is because they fail at targeting the root of the problem. The newest trend in anti-aging supplements is collagen. Research shows a good collagen supplement can help make hair stronger and the skin more youthful while supporting healthy joints, bone, and gut health. But don't run to the store and buy the first collagen supplement you see. Grab Ageless Multi-Collagen, which can only be purchased online. Ageless Multi-Collagen's ingredients are held to the highest quality standards in the collagen industry. It is some of the purest quality collagen you can get. Folks, I take it every single day. I have unlocked a deal for my audience right here, not only on pp&s Report, but across all of our platforms. Get up to 51% off if they order by going to, just check this out, healthwithla.com, healthwithla.com. Click the link below, healthwithla.com. Folks, tomorrow I'm headed out. Peggy and I, my wifey and I are headed out to the Kansas revival. It's in a tent. It's going to be great. I think I've got about 250 people that are going to show up for that. Hope in the Heartland. And I will be speaking on Friday and Saturday evening. I hope to see you there. So we're also going to do some archaeological work while we're back in Oklahoma with Mando Gonzalez, of course, from Prophecy Watchers and several other people. We'll be filming there. It should be a real hoot. But let's talk about Episode 7 of the On the Trail of the Nephilim series. By the way, shameless plug, if you're interested at all, and I hope you are, you can go to our streaming.lamarzulli.net, streaming.lamarzulli.net, and you'll see all 7 of the Watcher series, Fatima, lots and lots of resources there. But Mondo and I were in Israel several years back, and one of the sites that has been on my bucket list literally for decades was Gilga Raphaem, the Wheel of the Giants. It lies on the plain, the Golan Heights, right? And in the distance you see Mount Hermon. It's an amazing place. Mount Hermon is important because that's where the 200 Watcher angels descended in the days of Jared, and all the mischief, as Chuck Missler used to say, began. The mingling of the seed that we read about in Genesis 3:15, right? That sets up the rest of the narrative. Your seed, your offspring, will be at enmity, at war with the offspring of the woman. One coming from the woman, the proto-evangelium, will crush your head, you will bruise his heel. Sets up the rest of the narrative. So 6 chapters later, we get this descent on Mount Hermon. And by the way, that's the basis, how the Nephilim returned after the flood, counter-move, another shameless plug, LA, really. But here's the deal. When you're there, it's 42,000 tons of basalt rock stacked in concentric rings. It's absolutely amazing. You'll see in the film, Mondo and I go down into the chamber. Really just an incredible experience. So here's the clip, and I'll see you on the other side. On the island of Malta, there are incredible megalithic temples that are all over the island. And I'm standing, as you can see, in front of a gateway that's thousands of years old, that predates the time of Christ by at least 3,000 to 4,000 years. Who are the mysterious people who created these edifices, and why did they spend so much time doing it? Where did the stones come from? How did they move 10, 20-ton stones way back in the megalithic? It's absolutely incredible. And we're going to show you who we think built these megalithic temples as we go in search of lost civilizations. And this is the Golan Heights.
This is the Golan Heights, yeah.
I'm here at Gilga Raphaem on the Golan Heights in the land of Israel. So what's incredible about this site is 4,000, 5,000 years ago, the remnants of the Rephaim, NEPHILIM tribe, came here and created this huge circle, which you can really only appreciate from the air. So we see this repeated over and over again. We see it in Ohio with the Great Circle Mound and the Octagon Mound, that when you stand in it, okay, you can see a circle, but when you get above it in the air, it all becomes very apparent. When you go to the Serpent Mound in Ohio, and that serpent, the largest serpent effigy on the planet, and that serpent undulates through the terrain in Ohio, when you stand there, you can't see the entire serpent. And the serpent is in the act of swallowing an egg. It's very, very deliberate, hailing back to the Genesis 3:15 narrative. So you can only see these sites from the air. And once you're above it, all of a sudden they come into focus and you can see it. Who is the prince of the power of the air? And what's amazing is there's a bias in archaeological circles and academic circles and universities, anthropologists, and basically it's this: there is no supernatural. But we believe in the biblical prophetic narrative and the supernatural events that we read about in the biblical narrative. What we are touching here are the fingerprints of the supernatural in Gilga Raphaem. We're now entering in what was the tomb. You can see that the rock pile with the basalt rocks, thousands of years old in their original position. Let's hope it lasts and we don't have a collapse, okay? Gilga Raphaem. Gilga Raphaem, the circle of the giants. And here we are. Unbelievable, Mondo. Watch your head.
Yeah, watch my head.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
We're inside the cairn of Gilga Raphaem. It's a very small, tight quarter, as we can see here. Look at the rocks. Look at the size of the one over the roof here. Extremely deliberate. Placed here thousands of years ago, and yet we see that it's unmoved in spite of all the earthquakes in the area. In my opinion, Mondo, that this is a Nephilim site. Your thoughts?
You know what it reminds me of is the work that's been done on Sardinia. Obviously, this is a small area. You're not going to, get a giant in here. That's not the purpose of it. But over there, like at Sardinia, if you're looking at the same time frames, that the tomb is down there. The tomb is underneath, and this is a monument. And if you remember, just especially recently, the goal of this chamber would be to come in and to connect to the power of the spirit of the Rephaim. What we know from the book of Enoch is demonic. But this isn't the tomb. This isn't the tomb, not at all. The tomb is below.
Way below.
But this is the monument above.
Yes.
And again, we don't know. It's hard to tell whether that's original. This thing could be, right at the early Bronze Age, or even what they say at the Chalcolithic Age, even earlier. But from the scripture, from Genesis 14 and others, this is the area. This is the Raphaem. You see it. This area appears first, besides Genesis 6 and Genesis 14, for the kings of that battle with the kings of Sodom, them coming down, and it says they came through the area of the Raphaem. So to me, this is an impressive sight above, pointing to something below.
And just so you know, this has never been excavated. I mean, they've done some excavations in it, but they've never dug down with a shaft like 10 or 12 feet.
Correct.
And I would propose that if someone dug down there, you would find the bones of the giants.
Yeah, this is very similar to Sardinia, the Negaraji Empire that they have over there, with the monuments that they have there.
So what's incredible about that is you see it in the film. We go from Gilga Raphaem to Sardinia. I've been to both places. That's why we're on the trail. There's similarities in all of this. And just so you know, it amazes me that when Joshua and Caleb pressed the conquest of the Holy Land 3,500 years ago, and that's what's so important, by the way, of the curse tablet. And we got into that with Aaron Lipkin, and you can go back and watch that right here on On the Trail of NEPHILIM. Incredible interview with Aaron about the curse tablet. Curse, 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 cursed of Yahweh, cursed you will surely die, cursed of Yahweh. It's just an amazing little tablet found on the altar of Joshua. Right after the conquest of Ai, Joshua goes in and builds this altar. So is that curse for the inhabitants of Canaan? You be the judge. It's still, the jury's still out on that. In my opinion, that's what it is. And I'm reading into that, and I'm biased, and I get that. But here's the deal. We know that when Joshua and Caleb pushed that conquest of Canaan, that these Nephilim tribes, they flee the area. How do we know that? Procopius writes, decades, hundreds of years later, there was a stele on the shores of North Africa, and it said, "We are they who fled from the face of Joshua the robber, the son of Nun." Not making this stuff up, not making it up. It's unbelievable. Of course, the stele has been destroyed long ago, but the fact that it's there, it shows us that there's this western migration, which is why when we get to Sardinia, the tomb of the giants, there's such a similarity. Why is that even there? Why does the megalithic happen all of a sudden all over Europe, and then it comes over here in the Americas, but it's not in stone, it's in dirt? And we see this in Salisbury. I mean, I could go on for the next couple of hours, and maybe we'll show some clips of that huge mound in Salisbury when I get back from our little excursion over to Oklahoma. Keep us in prayer. The warfare is real. There are people that don't like what we do. And I will be talking about another On the Trail episode Thursday, and I think you'll find this interesting. There is a bias in academia. We actually talked about this in episode 1, Mysterious Mound Builders. It's there. There is a bias in academia and in the scientific community against any and all Christian ideology. Certainly something that would point back to the validity of the supernatural. Okay, so here's the deal. Tomorrow, I'll be back again in Studio B right over there, 10 feet away, and we will be doing another Supernatural Confrontation show along with another pp&s report. So basically what it is, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, Supernatural Confrontation, pp&s report, and then Tuesday and Thursday on the Trail of NEPHILIM. So we really have 3 shows going on here, but pp&s is only on Rumble and Roku because it's YouTube unfriendly. If you've had a supernatural confrontation, don't forget to email us, supernatural@lamarzulli.net, lamarzulli.net, and we might be doing a Zoom chat with you sooner or later. Thanks so much for watching. Remember, there is a hidden history that's been deliberately obfuscated from the peoples of the world, and that's why I am on the trail of the Nephilim.